Good evening, you guys. Good evening and welcome to the First Cup. My name is Sonia McCullen Lockridge and I joy to have my first cup of coffee with you. And today is Saturday and I slept in this morning, did not rise early, and I am just now getting to my first cup of coffee at after 5 o'clock in the evening. And I will say that this first cup of coffee is rather tasty. Now, what we do here on the First Cup, we have a purpose. And our purpose is to delve into Christian works produced entirely and mostly by Christian writers and authors. And normally they will be nonfiction because that's what I enjoy to read is nonfiction. And recently, since November, we've been working on this book, Rediscover Church, which if I wrote a book about rediscovering church, I would title it Reoccupy Church. That's the title that I would give to it, Reoccupy Church. So, we're in the final days of our reading of Rediscover Church, and we are in chapter 8, which is the leadership chapter, in which they talk about church leadership. So, we have separated these leadership positions as elders, examples, and equippers. Now, today, we're going to talk about a person in the church that can be an example, an elder, and possibly an equipper. Of course, they would not be an elder in the church, within the church itself, but they could easily be an example and an equipper in the church. But an elder, they don't have the qualifications to be an elder. So, that is where we're lingering today. And today we are lingering in Titus 2, 3 through 4. Yes, today we're talking about women in the church. Titus 2, 3 through 4. So, Titus, we're right here at Titus 2. And Titus reads as follows. Older women likewise are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. Not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so train the young women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. Period. That's what the book of Titus says about older women. Now, going back to Timothy 5, 1 Timothy 5 actually, 1 Timothy 5. We have this particular portion of the biblical text is titled Instructions for the Church. And it starts off by, I'll just read it. I don't have to tell you. I'll just read it, and then you can hear it for yourselves. Do not rebuke an older man, but encourage him as you would a father. Younger men as brothers. Older women as mothers. Younger women as sisters in all purity. Just gets right to it. We don't have to wonder. We just have to know and acknowledge and adhere to what's in the Word of God. Honor widows. In verse 3, it goes on to say, honor widows who are truly widows. But if a widow has children or grandchildren, let them first learn to show godliness to their own household and to make some return to their parents, for this is pleasing in the sight of God. She who is truly a widow, left all alone, has set her hope on God and continues in supplications and prayers night and day. But she who is self-indulgent is dead, even while she lives. Command these things as well, so that they may be without reproach. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Let a widow be enrolled if she is not less than 60 years of age, having been the wife of one husband, and having a reputation for good works. If she has brought up her children, has shown hospitality, has washed the feet of the saints, and has cared for the afflicted, and has devoted herself to every good work, but refused to enroll younger widows, for when their passions draw them away from Christ, they desire to marry, and so incur condemnation for having abandoned their former faith. Besides that, they learn to be idlers, going about from house to house, and not only idlers, but also gossips and busybodies, saying what they should not. So I would have younger widows marry, bear children, marry their household, manage their households, and give the adversary no occasion for slander. For some have already strayed after Satan. If any believing woman has relatives who are widows, let her care for them. Let the church not be burdened, so that it may care for those who are truly widows. Then it goes on to say, let the elders who rule well be considered worthy of double honor, especially those who labor in preaching and teaching. So, there we have it. Instructions for the church. Directly from the Holy Word of God. Instructions for the church. So, that's what we have for the first cup today in the evening. It's dark outside. And we'll be back in the morning with another cup of coffee, I believe. I'm sure. It could be tea. We will see, but likely coffee. And then we will conclude this reading of Rediscover Church on Monday. On Monday, which I believe is the 31st day of January, we will conclude this reading. And on Tuesday, we'll start a new work. We'll start a new non-fiction Christian work right here on the First Cup. And I hope and pray that you would join me. I hope and pray that you would join me, because this new reading is something, is really something. I'm really excited about it. And it's something I've wanted to delve into for a very long time. And I'm super excited about it. And I'm going to work on it tonight. Well, no, maybe not tonight. It's probably tomorrow night. And that's the First Cup. Now, if you find, you will find most of the chapters of the First Cup here on the First Cup channel, and you will find the remaining playlist of the First Cup on the Good News Sunday Show. And I have linked the Good News Sunday Show for you at the bottom of this video. So in case you're interested in any of those readings or those lessons, which I'm not really sure exactly how they're titled, but I have a link for you below for the playlist of the First Cup at the Good News Sunday Show. And I invite you to join me tomorrow. Join me tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Time, in which we will have our first of many lessons. Are we going to start that tomorrow? Yes. We have first of many lessons in regards to the importance of prayer study. The importance of prayer study at the Good News Sunday Show. That's tomorrow, Sunday, on the Good News Sunday Show. This is Sonia McCullough-Lockridge signing out for the First Cup. Have a great evening and be blessed in the Lord. Thank you.